Oh, I went live before I clicked on something. I do that a lot, don't I? So it's like starting off with a. Oh no, I did. Oh my gosh. You know what this means? You know what it means? It means it's a Sunday that I'm just starting on coffee. So anything can happen. Happy Sunday, everybody. What's happening? Um, I'm just getting up. I didn't sleep much last night. I almost didn't do a live stream for a few reasons, and I just heard um, uh, Addie getting on me. So and I love you all, and I do. I cherish this time. It's just and I've said this. I don't know if 11 o'clock Sunday West Coast is going to be the best time. Hello, Adar. I hopefully I said your name right. I am going to be in Hershey, Pennsylvania, early December. But anyway, some news is I think next Sunday. I should start right off with this news. I think next Sunday we might try New York time, the old time. You ready for that, Dano? Because next Sunday I will be in New York City. So, not sure yet the exact plans. Lots of neat stuff happening. But anyways, let's get right into it. For those of you that are new, we get together on Sundays and just hang out. I don't even share this on social media most of the time. Sylvia, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you. We don't even share this on social media most of the time because it's just us hanging out. And Addie and Derek are Addie and Derek are our moderators. I will argue the best moderators in the world. Michael says it's snowing in Indianapolis. I know. I'm going to New York City this week, and I'm already like kind of freaking out. It's like, oh my gosh, I saw that it's snowing. So Addie is formerly homeless, and hopefully that will remain the same. And Derek lives in a camp in Oakland, California, and hopefully he will get out of homelessness soon. I am hoping. And as I think I haven't seen all the so YouTube has a setting top chat or live chat. I always forget to set it to live chat because I want to see everybody. I don't want to just see a highlight. I want to see all your chats if possible. And I noticed, I think it was Derek and I think Nancy noticed that there's nothing here. So which means this video is probably not going to stay public for long. A little bit of a interesting is that every couple of years I have to shave. And every time I'm reminded of my ex-wife, because just before about a week before our wedding, she does this to me and she says, that's got to go. I'm not going to marry you if you have this, right? So I went and shaved because, wedding's coming up, they say happy wife, happy life. So I went and shaved, and the next time she saw me, she said, no, grow that back. So all our wedding photos, which the wedding crashed and burned anyways, or the marriage, all our wedding photos is me with just a little bit of growth. But you guys noticed, you're paying attention. Wow, I am so happy. So who all of you are in New York City or close? Anybody in New York City or close? So this week coming up, we have a new video from our video journalist, Crystal. It's really good. I proofed it late last night and then again this morning. She's been working hard on it, and it's about Urban Voices, which is a nonprofit that has a choir of homeless people on Skid Row. And there's this gentleman, he lives in a tent on Skid Row. He's 65 years old, and you are not going to believe how well he sings. And this is, hey, Arab from Iraq. Hello, hello. It's a really great video. I'm going to probably have it up maybe Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning. Tuesday, I'm going to be on a plane. And, Addie, you're going to be really mad at me because I think it's going to be 88 today. So those of you who know Southern California, we don't have to look at the weather like to see if we need an umbrella or a raincoat. We have to look to see if we need jeans or shorts. And today's a shorts day. And I mean literally. So after this, I'm going to join. Hey, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Russia would love. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. Joshua, I'm going to try to get to Vegas. I got to try to get to Vegas. So I got some personal news. So those of you who've been following the progression, we actually started live streaming when I was in Syracuse, and my stepsister passed away. I went to go live with my mom. I was close to getting my life back when I was in Syracuse, but just not there. And then, I went to Binghamton to help take care of my mom. My mom passed away. And it took me like forever to get out of the house and relocate back to Los Angeles. But I'm here, and I finally feel like I've rebuilt my life back to kind of where it was in the 08, before the 08 crash. So I was homeless in 1994. 1995 is when I went into a homeless shelter. I lived in that homeless shelter for 7 years. Nobody should live in a homeless shelter for 7 years. But it was a faith-based shelter, and there was no path out. And anyways, so I started working on getting my life back together, and that's where I went down what I call the dark side, because I went into Christian broadcasting because I lived in a church shelter, and the only path out was to go work in ministry. And I am still a follower of Jesus, but I'm not so much of a person that I have zero respect for religion. Religion is dangerous. So anyways, long story short, then the 08 crash hit, and I lost everything again except my sobriety. It was a really dark time because I was crashing back into homelessness. I wanted to work, but there was no work. The good part about that is that's how Invisible People started. Hey, Creative Renewal, thank you. And here we are. And, speaking of which, right there, let's see, I got to go to more of the live stream here. Right there is the silver play button. And this week, YouTube mailed me or shipped to me the gold play button. So do I replace? So I should. That's a Shorty Award. It's kind of weird doing the backwards thing, right? So that's a Shorty Award, Well, that's the Big Shorty Award right there. That's for Best Documentary. And then that, I can't see because it's blurry. That's second place. Lady Gaga won first place. That's second place for Best YouTube Channel. And that's second place for documentary. We actually won first and second place for documentary in the Shorty Awards. And this really down here, see the floppy drive there? See the old floppy drive? That's an old award from the LA Weekly. So do I put the gold award here and move the silver award? God. Do I put the gold award up, or do I put the silver award there? I don't know, but I'm just honored that I'm getting a gold award, and it's all because of you. You guys did it. So anyways, I relocated back to Los Angeles, and, Mom left me the house. It's not a lot of money. You look at houses in across the country, and I mean, it's a nice house, but in the small 40,000 depressed area we lived in, it wasn't a lot of money. But I'm grateful. So most of it I invested. I bought a new car with Mom's money. I'm kind of funny on like for instance, Hanes gives us socks to give out, and I buy my own socks. Right. I like if I go to a homeless shelter or ministry or somebody that's feeding on the streets, I do not eat food meant for homeless people. And it's not because it's bad food. I just don't want to eat something that could go to a homeless person. Right. It's just how I am. Right. And so like I buy my own socks. So that the car, every cent from the car is from Mom's house. The rest I invested. It wasn't a lot, but I am getting older. I don't still have money for retirement. I lost everything in the 2008 crash, but my apartment is finally livable. It feels like a home. I mean, it's one room. It's like a giant hotel room. It's like a nice hotel room, and it works for me. And I actually feel personally, and on top of that, I went to the doctors. A lot of you know I have health issues, and it is amazing because everything seems okay. The doctor messaged me and says, "Hey, Sharon, hello, Miss Fenris. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Thank you all so much for the donation." So the doctor said it like this. He said, he messaged me and he said, everything is good, normal, or acceptable. So there's no danger zones. Back when I was living in New York, I was in a health crisis. And many of you know I have a pulmonary embolism blood clots in my lungs. So they're still going to do some more tests, but they're pulling me off the blood thinners at the end of this month, which means, so here, right? 1994, I'm homeless. 1995 to like 2003, I live in a homeless shelter. I rebuild my life back up to 2008 and everything crashes. I lose everything again. 2008, everything goes bye-bye. So from 2008 to 2021, I've been in survival mode. At the same time, I've been working on Invisible People, and just by, if I had kids, I would have never been able to do this. For 12 years, I worked without ever being compensated or without health care. And I do not recommend that to anybody, but since I didn't have kids, I took the risk. And now Invisible People is a organization that's growing. This next year, we're going to scale. We're looking at bringing on our third employee really soon. And it was, I got to tell you, so this week, oh my gosh, this week is so cool. Now, some of you might not get this, but this YouTube channel is just one thing that we do. We do a lot of things. We do journalism, we do advocacy, we do research and education, and we do this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel, hey man, you asked how did I lose everything in 2008? The economy crashed. In 2008, everything, just like it did here, except there was no pandemic in 2008. 2008 was a very serious economic crash. But anyways, so and then, oh gosh, where were? Oh, so YouTube. Oh, I was saying, YouTube is a huge thing that we do. You guys are huge. I'll talk. You guys seem to want to talk about the 08 crash, so I'll talk about it in a second. But let me set this up because it's so very important. You guys, 3 years ago, we kept on getting turned down by philanthropy. And the typical route for a nonprofit is to approach foundations. And foundations do not fund small nonprofits. They just don't. It's a problem. It's why there's a lack of innovation in the nonprofit sector. But anyways, that's how it is. And I looked at what we had, and it was YouTube. And you guys helped Invisible People grow. So all this growth from 20,000 subs to 1 million subs is in the last 3 years. And because of that, we've been able to grow journalism and advocacy. Over 13,000, probably 14,000 now, but I haven't looked in a couple weeks. It's 13,000 emails have been sent to state and federal politicians, thanks to you guys, right? You guys did that. Yes, it's other people around the country writing to their legislatures, but it was you guys on YouTube that help fuel us so that we can grow. And it matters. It matters that we reach out to our politicians. So anyways, this week, many of you may not know. Here, I'll actually share last year's. In case any of you are interested. Where is it? Where is it? So this is last year's research. So this is last year's research. I put a link into the chat. We funded, thanks to you guys, when you go donate to Invisible People, this is one of the things that the money goes to. We funded research. We surveyed people in 16 different cities trying to get some kind of understanding of what people believe about homelessness. And it's the first time it's been done. It's crazy powerful. And, John Oliver, if you guys saw John Oliver's show on homelessness, the producers told me that our research helped shape that show. So this research, there's other people have used the research and created a lot more impact. So what this is a tool for homeless advocates and stakeholders to help change policy. So this year, we're doing the What America Believes About Homelessness sequel. Because we know some of the things are going to be the same, we didn't ask them. And instead, we asked about home ownership, race, policing, and faith. And this week, we held two we held two focus groups. So this year's research, and we've been working so hard and huge. The guy's name is Mike. the guy, the author of the research, who is a good friend to Invisible People. I think just like you guys are family, Mike's family, Barb's family, but Mike is the person behind the research. He's the brains. And he's been working hard. We've been working hard. We had 2 focus groups this week, 2 amazing focus groups, and they had representative from HUD, Housing and Urban Development, and advocates, boots on the ground advocates. In one of the focus groups, we had an African American pastor and a white pastor. And, it was so powerful to me because, see, we want to provide research that people are going to use and they're going to use to actually help create more housing to help more homeless people. And by having these focus groups before we publish the research, help shape it so that we know that we're communicating the right stuff in the right way for people to use to influence change. And this year's research, oh my gosh, because we asked about police. See, I don't know where you live. I mean, I know where Eddie lives, and I know where Derek lives. I even know where Dano lives. I know where a bunch of you lives, and I'm very grateful for you guys that come in. Like today, we had somebody from Iraq and Russia that say hi. This is saying hello from wherever we are. The gentleman, or I don't know, I couldn't read the name, so it might have been a woman. Said from Russia with love. I love when you guys announce that, right? So I don't know where most of you live, but what I can guarantee, if you live in the United States, criminalization of homelessness is increasing here in Los Angeles. Oh my gosh. It is getting so bad. They're making areas of it illegal. I don't know if some of this passed. I just haven't had a time to follow up. I did do a search to see if some of these things passed the city council. But one thing was they wanted to arm park rangers. They wanted to give park rangers guns. That's scary. The other one that is just mind-boggling to me is they wanted to make it so sanitation workers can write citations to homeless people. So it's bad enough that cops are writing tickets to people that don't have an income, right? How do you find somebody that doesn't have an income and you're finding them for sleeping on the ground and they have no place to go? That's dumb, right? So how can we get any dumber? Well, have the sanitation workers write the tickets to people that don't have any income to pay them. Do you realize how dumb all of that is? And like the John Oliver show said it so good. Thank you, Anonymous. The John Oliver show is where I got this messaging, but it was really, we're spending so much. Politicians are supporting efforts to get homeless people out of sight, pushing them around, but not getting them the help they need. Then we had one of the LA Times writers just write a horrible piece. And I really have to expand on that a little, but not directly talking about the piece. It was very irresponsible. But there's so much negative propaganda, whether it be organic, just people on social media sharing, or organized. There are organizations that are dumping millions of dollars into spreading lies about homelessness and homeless people. And who is countering that? Invisible People. We're it. And we are doing the best that we can. I know there's some other local organizations, nothing national. There's some local that try, but I feel we're fighting a losing battle. I'm not saying get up. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to grow and we're going to get louder and we're going to do what we can to influence positive change. But I got to tell you, hello, Anonymous, thank you. It is demoralizing in so many ways, because if you look at how criminalization is growing, and you look at how this negative propaganda is growing, you almost want to give up. I mean, I'm not going to give up. That's the one thing, right? I've been doing this for now 13 years. In 10 days, I think 10 days, no, in 2 weeks, 14 more days will be our 13th year anniversary. And I'm going to keep going. And I've seen other homeless advocates or other be critical of this or that, and then they go away, and you know what? Life changes. Maybe they get married and have kids and go on a different path. I know this work is hard. It's hard emotional labor. You get attacked from everybody. I mean, I get attacked constantly on a daily basis. I mean, some of it has been, I had one stalker that for 8 years was aggressive. I mean, Toronto police, Los Angeles sheriffs, Los Angeles Police Department, the Secret Service were all involved with this one person harassing me. I should explain this. I was invited to a Michelle Obama event. And as a VIP, I was invited to this event where Michelle Obama was speaking. And this person started, he went after the mayor of LA because I was allowed into this event. He was, attacking, Michelle Obama and all this. So the Secret Service, like, who is this dude? And what is he dangerous? I don't know if he is dangerous, but it took a while for me to take legal action because the harassment laws on the internet have not caught up to the harassment laws in real life. So it is extremely challenging to get a restraining order on somebody harassment on the internet. Thank God it's changing. And it took a while. I finally found the right lawyer who I now have in my back pocket. I don't want to use her. She's brilliant. She's amazing. But that's like a last resort. All I'm saying is this work is hard. You do good, and you get attacked. So I understand why people give up. I'm not trying to be critical, but there's so many people that I have seen that have done this work for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then they give up. And it could be family. If I had family, I wouldn't have been able to continue. Could be that they just didn't want to be attacked anymore. Anyways, as we go into the next couple of years, it's going to be crucial because us, Invisible People family, and even those of you that are just logging on, we are going to have to really start working together and pushing out truth. The truth has to be louder. The truth has to be louder. We have to make the truth louder. And I do not believe that the homeless sector is now starting to pay attention to narrative change, but I do not believe that they will ever wake up enough and take enough action to actually have a significant impact. So anyways, I am off to New York City. Any of you in New York City, please, thank you, Anonymous, please message me on Twitter at Hardly Normal on Twitter. I do pay some attention to at Invisible People, but at Hardly Normal is my main one. If you or send an email, be nice. I have over 100. Well, last time I checked, it was 145,000 unopened emails in one account. So if you send me an email and I didn't see it, please forgive me. If you're about to send me an email, please remember, keep them short, and I might miss it. And I am sorry if I miss your email, but I've got 150. I get 1,000, 2,000 emails every day, and I cannot possibly read them all. Anyways, I will be in New York City next week. Meetings. Now, if you guys watched John Oliver, you saw Charmaine. So I'm going to, Jano, I thought of that 100 million times. I think of that. So, but I would still not be able to look at all the emails coming. So, when Charmaine, I will be interviewing for a third time. While I love that I get to see somebody that I know, I hate that they're still homeless. I mean, for God's sake, this woman is on the streets of New York City. Get her into housing. Anyway, so I'm in New York City for a week. And if any of you are around and schedules allow, love to hang out. And again, this week, the new video coming up is on Urban Voices, which is a choir in Skid Row. You're going to love it. You're not going to believe. I was hoping to get a clip to preview it for you guys. We proofed it so late that the editor wasn't able to get us that clip. Anyways, I love you guys. You are awesome. And I'm going to pay a little attention. Hey, Valerie, thank you so much for the donation. You're so awesome. Hey, Raymond, you're homeless in Turkey? Wow. And what Rochelle said is, my heart goes out to you. Hey, Pierre, thank you for your kind words. Kenneth Lupus, New York City has a law called right to shelter. It is actually a law that was forced on the city. It has actually hurt the city because the city was forced into creating shelters instead of housing. So New York City actually has more homeless than any other city. You just don't see them because they are in shelter, but the shelters suck. So, for instance, Charmaine, who is a woman who has suffered from, she's been a domestic violence victim, they will put her into a shelter with men. And a shared bathroom with men. And she's a woman who has been a victim of domestic violence. You don't put a woman anyway. So one of the people, I don't know if you remember, Shams DeBaron, that I interviewed once on here. We should have him again. I am speaking to a high school in Brooklyn on Wednesday with Shams. So a wonderful high school reached out to me. And I tried to get the date changed because I got so much going on. And then there's Dr. Kelly, who's an emergency room physician who we've interviewed here on this, who works with homeless people in the emergency room. I'm going to connect with her in real life for the first time in New York City. So it's going to be awesome. But anyways, to answer your question, shelters suck. Many of them are suck. The reason, it's just the New York City shelter system is, from my understanding, some of the worst. There's been some recent articles on it, and hopefully in the little time I'm there, I will be able to help explain more. So I would love to, hey Dale, I would love to come to Casper, Wyoming. So I don't know if you guys know, in 2020, we were going to do a road trip. Then coronavirus hit. In 2021, we were going to do a road trip. And I almost did it, but I just wasn't confident. And sure enough, we have the Delta variant, the Delta thingy. It's not a thingy, it's a crisis. God. Can't wait for this corona thing to go away. Although I think some of it is going to stay for us forever. Just like, we get measles vaccines and smallpox vaccines and shingles vaccines and all this other stuff. I think polio and, I think sadly coronavirus is going to be here forever. Just it won't be as prevalent in a crisis as it is. But hopefully we learn from this for the next time it's going to happen. Yeah, Contagion. I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Contagion, but I can't even watch it now. I mean, gosh. Netherlands is in a partial lockdown. Wow. So I hope to next year, 2022, travel around and hey, Janine, I got my flu shot this week too. I got my Pfizer booster last week. Yana, hello. Yeah, Addie, the Contagion. I only watched it once, and it kind of gave me the creeps. And Contagion, it was 5 years ago, before the pandemic hit. Hey, Claire. Yana. Janine, I think I don't know where you live, but the booster shot is now going to be for everybody. I do think there's a time period. So for me, my last Pfizer second shot was last March. So I think there's 6 months you have to wait from your second shot. Petrov, I do not think Trump would be better off for any experience. Mike is right. I mean, Mike says just because you get vaccinated, it doesn't mean that you forget best practices. And that is exactly the truth, because even now I wear a mask when I'm out in public. As soon as I leave here, I'm going on Skid Row with the sidewalk project. And sure enough, I will be wearing a mask. Yana, when the updates on homeless people we get, Helena, who you guys saw, has been asking me to do an update because she wants to thank you all for donating to her GoFundMe. So when I get back from New York, I will go visit her and we'll do an update. But otherwise, it's just by the nature of homelessness, it's hard to keep in touch with people. So whenever possible, if I can, I will do an update. So next week, remember, we're going back to, remember this, Dano, we're going back to New York time. So New York time is 8 o'clock East Coast, which is like 1 in the morning UK, and 5 p.m. West Coast. I'm really going to try that because I really want to test. Like here, we have 149 watching, which is amazing. I'm grateful. But when we were at the other time, we used to have about, hey, Patrick, thank you. We used to have 300 or more watching. So, and I don't, this 11 o'clock on Sundays has been really hard to get people to be guests. So that's the main reason I want to. Adele, I have wanted to visit France a couple opportunities. So whenever I do international travel, it's somebody's bringing me in. I can't afford to travel nationally, internationally. And somebody's bringing me in. So twice now I came really close to visiting France. One was with an organization, and the other, I was in the UK working with an organization, and I had a day off. So I almost took, forget what the train is from London to Paris, but there's like a morning train that comes back in the evening. But I was so tired from working nonstop. Dennis, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. But I must argue, you are awesome. It's you guys. See, YouTube is a community. So, what makes Invisible People so powerful is you. You guys, I know I say this all the time, but it's true, 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 true. You are invisible people. And I don't mean that like you're invisible people, you're invisible people family community. I guess I should clarify that. Kitchener, there's somebody, Addie, there's a woman in our online support group from Kitchener, Ontario. Or is that where Kazuma is now? Oh, Rachel, I'm so sorry. They're horrible. Oh, wow. So, folks, I think I'm going to end a little early. So, if you got any questions or some last comments you'd like to talk about, the reason is this is my, hey, Melka, this is my, I leave for New York City on Tuesday, and I need to get out today to the side. Every Sunday I do this. I try to get out to hang out with Soma and Jen, the Sidewalk Project. I just, they're helping the worst of the worst, right? Most churches, most nonprofits don't even go to the area of Skid Row that these women go to. So I try to go. That's my volunteering, right? I'm out on the streets as often as possible for invisible people, but my support on Sundays is to really just be there for them. I'm in New York City for a week. Don't say that, she said, break a leg. I was speaking at NYU and my gallbladder burst. I was speaking to college students about storytelling and teaching And the second part, we were actually going to go into a park. We weren't going to interview homeless people, but we were going to, take cameras and, just learn some videography skills for, I got to come up with a word for what I do. Several people have tried. But my gallbladder literally burst while I was speaking to the class. And, we didn't know it was my gallbladder burst. We just knew something was wrong, and it hurt. It hurt like, it was so painful. And if you know me, I've worked through, my priority is helping homeless people, and speaking to kids is one of the most impactful things we can do. So I'm going to stay the course. I promised this New York University class that I was going to be the instructor. So I'm going to be the instructor. And the kids forced me into a taxi to a New York City emergency room, which I had never in my life wanted to be in a New York City emergency room. Oh, Rochelle, I hope that's how you say your name. There's lots of videos from foster kids speaking. But I would like to do a more in-depth video. That would be great. And, I remember there's one girl who, it's strange because I thought her video would be, to me, it moves me. I thought it would be, a viral video, but people, you all like what you like. Sometimes it's hard to predict what videos will get a lot of attention and what won't. And we're not YouTubers, we're nonprofits. So I post videos that it's going to reach somebody. I'm looking to reach that one person, not a lot of people. We don't put ads on videos on, there's ads on this video, but there's not on interview videos. So we're not driven, we're driven, but we're not driven for money. We're driven for impact. And this woman, so Petrov, it was a woman in Denver. She was so by law, you can't interview anybody under 18 without parental permission. So she had to be 18, 19, 20. She was a youth. But she said she was in like over 50 placements. And I thought that was, so a lot of times homeless people will say things that seem like, wow, that can't be true. And I was a television executive. And when I was homeless and I told people I was a television executive, do you think they believe me? Anyways, so I went to a social worker that works with kids in foster care, and I talked about do they is she telling the truth? And they said it's not uncommon to have high placements like that. And how do kids develop if you're being kicked from home to home to home to home? Crazy. So, folks, Walter's in the house. I'm saying goodbye, and Walter comes in the house. Walter, where were you? Is Addie kicking out trolls? So all of you are my favorite people. Well, Walter is somebody that, thank you, Anonymous. Walter was homeless. He's now in housing. And Walter, I have to come visit. Can I come visit now? What's funny is Walter moved into housing and he wanted me to come visit, but the coronavirus, we had to get vaccinated. So now that I'm vaccinated, I want to go visit, but it's just not a good time, or it hasn't been for Walter. So Walter, I want to see you. And if those of you that are in LA, I do not want to know what I'm going to do in Los Angeles yet. I'm going to try to do something. I mean, on Thanksgiving, everybody feeds. There's so much turkey. I mean, homeless people walk from turkey meal to turkey meal to turkey meal. So one day that you do, they're just, hey, BG, where you been? It has been, I mean, it's, so what I've always, I'll tell you, I'll close with this story. So what's missing for homeless people or people that are alone during the holidays is fellowship. So yeah, eating turkey, overeating, stuffing, and all that stuff is the American Thanksgiving way. And there's plenty of food. But what do you do afterward? You sit on a couch with relatives that you're going to argue with and you watch TV, or the Macy's Thanksgiving parade or something. You have people around, where homeless people go and eat turkey and they eat too much and then they're back in their tents and it's just another day of hell. So what I used to do, and the car I bought, I can't fit everybody in. I don't know. Maybe I'll rent a van or we'll just meet someplace. I haven't figured this one out yet. So it's my first Thanksgiving back in LA. But what I used to do is I used to go up and pick up all my homeless friends and we'd go to a movie. And I would take them to a Thanksgiving Day movie. And I'm really big on allowing, when I take a homeless person out to eat, I ask them, where do you want to go? When I take homeless people to a movie, I ask them, what movie do you want to see? Real homelessness is the absence of choice. So it's important to me that a homeless person gets to make a decision. So, guys always pick action adventure movies, lots of guns and explosions and loud, right? So I did this for a few years, and every year we would, I'd load up my SUV, we'd go to a movie, I'd buy the tickets, I'd buy everybody popcorn or whatever they want, and we go into the movie, and the movie would start, and it's loud and explosions and machine guns, and they'd fall asleep. 100% of the time, they would fall asleep. And at first, my first emotion was, oh my gosh, I just bought all these guys popcorn. I just bought them movie tickets and they're sleeping. And then it hit me that even though it's loud, the movie theater is safe, right? Cops are not going to come harass them. Nobody's going to come steal their stuff. Nobody's going to come set their tent on fire while they're in it, right? The movie theater is a safe place for them. So they relaxed and fell asleep. So I changed my paradigm. And even though I'm taking them to a movie, what I'm doing is paying for them to have a safe place to sleep on Thanksgiving, to take a nap. And that was perfect. It was perfect. So this year, I don't know how to do that. I just moved back. I don't have the connections I used to have. I thought about, hey, well, we'll have a big Thanksgiving meal or anything, but everybody feeds. So I got to figure out how to do that, how to get people in the movies. So I maybe everybody will find a movie theater someplace that is conducive to everybody getting there. So, folks, thank you for spending another hour with me. I just, I never thought that I would influence anybody to do anything but lock their doors when I walk by, right? And here you guys are hanging out. A reminder, next Sunday, it's going to be back to the old New York time. I mean, if something comes up, I'm going out with Feed the Streets New York Sunday afternoon. If something comes up and I'm still out on the streets, homeless people have a priority. I love you guys, but homeless people have a priority. But right now, I am planning on the old time for us. So it will be 5 p.m. California time, 8 p.m. New York time, or close to that. Of course, internet, when I stay in a hotel, I'm always dependent on if they have good hotel access, and some don't. We haven't done this, but most holidays like Christmas and New Year's, we have marathon live streams for people that are alone or anybody that just wants to hang out. We might do that for Thanksgiving. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to try to take people to the movies. I'm going to definitely hand out socks someplace Thanksgiving wise. And Walter now wants me to come visit. Is that what I'm reading, Walter? Well, when I get back from New York, you better start cleaning up because I will come visit. Around Thanksgiving, that'll be a good time. I'll come and take you guys out to dinner or something. For you guys that do not know, Walter and his wife were homeless in Venice, and they're now in housing. So thank you, Derek, who is homeless and an amazing moderator who I have dubbed the Troll Zapper. He loves to zap trolls. And Addie is also an amazing moderator. She is not homeless. She's formerly homeless. And Addie does not get the enjoyment of troll zapping that Derek does, but she is just a damn good moderator. And I love you guys. Hopefully you will have an amazing, amazing week. And remember, probably Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, the new video from our video journalist, Crystal, is dropping about urban voices. And I got to tell you, I really wish I was able to work it out that I could play a clip for you guys. Crystal actually emailed me during this live stream, the clip. But anyways, you're not going to believe this gentleman. He's 65 years old, living in a tent on Skid Row. You're not going to believe how good he sings. It is a miracle. It is amazing. This video is going to blow you away, and it will be dropping Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning. And please share it. And I love you guys. Have an amazing week. And remember, next Sunday, it's going to be Sunday evening because I'm back in New York. Have a good week.